Welcome to the Peak of Possibility podcast, brought to you by Peak Path Health. If you're enjoying the show, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Remember, if you or someone you care about is facing challenges, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to support you on your journey to health and wellness. Welcome to the show. My name is Glynis Franz. This is the Peak of Possibility podcast. And tonight we are interviewing Dustin Kerr, who's my friend, partner in business, man in recovery, has a really awesome story. And we're happy you're here. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
How do you feel? You excited?
I feel excited.
You love being on camera?
I hate it. I can't stand it.
Yeah, I do know that about you.
Don't want to be here.
I know. Well, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're willing to do it. It's always uncomfortable. What do you think it is so uncomfortable about being on camera for you?
I just don't like being in the limelight. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know what it is.
Has it always been that way?
Yeah, it has always been that way. Yeah.
Flying under the radar?
Flying under the radar, observing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell us where you're from.
I'm from Tomball, Texas.
What part of Texas is that?
It's like it's near Houston. So I was literally the first baby born in the Tomball hospital. There was like a population of 3,000.
Wow. Wait, so was the hospital brand new or something?
Brand new.
Wow. When was the city like an old Texas town or what?
Yeah. So the story my grandmother says about my name is that the hospital was dusty. So.
Well, we do call you Dusty.
Yeah, I was supposed to be named after the pitcher Nolan Ryan, who was like he's like the best, greatest pitcher of all time in baseball. And my middle name is Ryan. It was supposed to be Nolan Ryan, but they said the hospital was so dusty that
they named you Dusty.
They named me Dustin.
Yeah. Humble beginnings, huh?
Yeah.
All right, nice. Well, how long did you live in Texas for?
Not long. My parents split up, and my dad we moved to Seattle, like when the Kingdom was still up, the Mariners Stadium. So like when I moved there, it was like the era of like Ken Griffey, Randy Johnson, Alex Rodriguez, like the best baseball team of all time, in my opinion. And
you big baseball fan?
Yeah, I mean, especially when I was younger. So we moved to Seattle, and then I've moved around a lot. Yeah.
When did you move to Seattle? How old were you?
Honestly, I don't even remember. I was like pretty young.
Baby.
Yeah. Not a baby, but I was pretty young. Yeah, a kid.
Yeah. Did you have any siblings?
I did. I have 4 now. Then I had 2 older siblings, half siblings. We were kind of all split up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
same
not
mom,
really
all
nice, I guess.
Yeah, same mom, all different dads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the story with your mom?
Yeah, so my mom, she dipped, she took off. My mom suffered from addiction and alcoholism my whole life, her whole life and my whole life.
Wow.
Yeah.
She just took off. How old were you?
I think 2.
2.
Yeah, I don't really have many memories of her when I was young. And then, as I grew older, I didn't get to see her much, nor did I talk to her much.
Was that a choice, or was it just?
No, it wasn't a choice. This is kind of like a sad depiction of my mom, but like when I was a kid, my mom would like get me on the phone and tell me she sent me like a birthday present, and I'm like a little kid, and I would go out on like my little Batman bike to the mailbox, and like nothing would ever come,
Yeah. Wow, that's really painful. What did that feel like as a little kid?
I don't know. I think as a kid, I just remember feeling, I felt unwanted, alone. I was always kind of a lone wolf, but I just felt very confused, I guess. But I didn't know how to describe it. I felt that I think it just started the narrative of like keep people at a distance because they're gonna dip.
They're gonna leave you.
They're gonna leave.
Can't trust other people.
No.
Yeah, that must have really like impacted the way that you saw the world as a child, and a lot of those experiences, memories, belief systems from when we're a kid oftentimes carry on into our adulthood, right?
For sure. And really, I mean, there's so much I could talk about my mom, and not to get too far into it, but like I wouldn't say the first time I hung out with my mom, but at a young age when I would go to Texas and get some time with her. I mean, I remember at like 11 years old going to, I don't remember how old I was, but like I would go to the restaurant and my mom would like bring a fake purse and like teach me how to dine and dash.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, you leave the purse on the table. They think you're coming back. It's empty.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we get free food.
Right.
Or like I'm feeling anxious and my mom would just be like, oh, we snort Xanax. Like,
Were you doing drugs with your mom?
I have, yeah. I did, yeah.
What was she addicted to?
I mean, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, her thing was like uppers, but
Yeah.
and yeah, it was uppers.
So you're doing substances with your mom starting at what age?
I don't know. I don't remember the exact age.
And what was your thinking behind that? Like, did you know that wasn't normal? Did you think it was okay? Like, what?
No, I idolized it because like I had this polarizing dynamic in my family where like I'm from the Bible Belt, right? So there's like this part of my family that although suffers from alcoholism or directly affected by it, they did their best to instill principles and the right way to live into my life. And I didn't want that, right? I had this like desire to like get in trouble and like do bad things, right?
Because you were being raised by your dad, right? Primarily.
I was being raised by my dad, yeah.
And your dad, Christian?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like very strong Bible Belt Baptist.
Church of Christ, actually.
Yeah.
It's like Sunday morning, Sunday night, you're in a suit. Wednesday night, only hymns, no musical instruments. Very
strict.
Very rigid.
And did you connect to that, like that sense of religion when you were young, or did you?
Did I connect with it?
Yeah.
No. I saw it as a laborious.
Yeah.
It was like
work.
It was like, yeah, I was like, I have to do this because this is what we're doing. But I hadn't had an experience yet, right, with all that.
So
with God.
I guess we're bouncing around a little bit, but hey, it is what it is. So at that age, you are being raised in this like very structured Christian home, right?
Yeah.
And what is your interpretation of like spirituality and God as a result of that? Is it punishing?
No, you might think it was, and maybe a little, but I wasn't like terrified that I was going to be struck down. I just think that it fostered a belief in God that what didn't work for me, I guess is the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm. And so when you would go to visit your mom in Texas, was your family like sending you there to visit her and stay with her?
No, I would go visit my grandmother, and my mom would like hear from my older brother that I was like in town, and then she would attempt to visit me. She wouldn't always show up.
Yeah.
But
when she did, what did that feel like when the times that she did?
I mean, it was like I wanted to be around my mom my whole life, so it was like, oh my God, I get to hang out with my mom, And my mom was fun.
Yeah.
My mom was an awesome,
yeah,
hilarious, fun person to be with. So we would do fun things, right? We would dine and dash, right? We would just we would do whatever, right? I felt like I was hanging out with like a friend.
Yeah.
That knew me,
right. Right. So, so as you go on, right, and you're continuing to grow up, you're like 11 or 12 years old. Is that when addiction and substances start to be part of the mix? And does it start with these experiences with your mom?
I mean, I think addiction started before, way before that, because I remember as a kid, I stole my dad's cigarettes.
Yeah.
He smoked Parliament Lights.
Everybody starts with Parliament Lights.
I was like that kid that smoked cigarettes.
Yeah.
And I remember I got caught in school with like a carton.
A carton?
In the principal's office.
Did your dad freeze him?
Well, hold on. So, no, he didn't freeze him. But I remember breaking down into tears in the principal's office, and I was like, I just don't want my dad to die. Like, it was just like the manipulation started young.
You made up a whole story.
I made up a whole story.
Yeah.
But really, I'm smoking cigarettes and like spraying cologne and like.
And what do you think, like, was that like, what do you think drove you to know, like, oh, I just need to make up a story and turn on the tears?
No idea. But I was the puppet master at a young age. Like, I'm going to be 10 steps ahead of you to control the narrative. And that gave me some sort of safety and comfort that I get. If I'm controlling the narrative, then you won't figure out what's really going on, because I was in fear that like a bunch of spiders or like a monster was going to come out if I was like the real me.
Right.
So I had to be 10 steps ahead of you.
Did you have experiences or people in your life who were behaving outside of your mom in that same way that kind of like taught you some of these like tools and skills that you were using to manipulate? Or was it just like inherently something inside of you?
I don't know. That's a great question. Something happened and it triggered this skill set that I developed, or sixth sense. Some people say that's like trauma. Some people develop like that sixth sense of like being able to read people and play that chameleon really well. I don't know what it is, something happened. But like to add to kind of what I was talking about is like at a young age, I would like spin around in my chair till I got dizzy. I would asphyxiate myself until I started to like pass out. I would huff white out. I would change my clothes 10 times a day to feel something, feel different, to get out of self. And I did that like before, like I think I even had like a sense of self. Like I really just wasn't okay.
You didn't know who you were.
Well, not only that, I just wasn't okay in my skin. So whatever I can do to get out of my skin, like I'm going to do that.
Right. Yeah. So do you think that, when did the progression of your like drinking and using start?
I mean, it really started like when I was in high school. I went to like a high school party, like we all did. And so I was a big football guy. I played like a lot of football.
Is this in Seattle?
No, this was in Arizona, actually.
Okay, so you end up in
Went to high school in Arizona. We like moved to Scottsdale before it was Scottsdale. It was like a bunch of dirt. Dusty, yes. And so I ended up going to high school in Glendale, Arizona, which is like north of Phoenix. It was like a big school. I played football and I was pretty good at it. And I remember I went to a party, and I always like to say this about like what alcohol did for me. It was like my whole life I felt like a guitar out of tune, and as soon as I took that drink, it harmonized me, and I felt like right as rain. I felt okay, and I blacked out. I blacked out the first time I drank.
And that's what feeling okay is for you, is blacking out.
Yeah, and I loved the attention I got at the party. Just like everything was like what I was looking for. And from that point on, nothing was important to me anymore. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to play football.
Right away.
And I idolized everything that had to do with drugs, alcohol, selling drugs, right? All of that. It just became pedestalized. And I'm the type of alcoholic that it takes a catastrophic event for me to stop. It's either I'm getting locked up, I'm intervened on, kicked out of somewhere, I crash a car. It's always something. There was never anything hindering me stopping. So
there was like no self-motivation to change.
Within a short amount of time after I took that first drink, I was going to Mexico and buying somas over the border.
In the pharmacies?
Yeah. Somas, like in my era, were like these muscle relaxers. I don't know if you remember them.
I remember somas, yeah.
They were the best. and we would go over the border, me and my friends. I was like hanging out with like these older kids, and we would go over the border and buy like 10,000 somas for like $3. I mean, I don't know the exact exchange, but it was cheap. And you could just drive back over the border, right? Yeah. And so I started taking those, and I was like selling them and giving them to kids on the team, and one of the kids like passed out on the field during practice, and he snitched on me. He told the coach.
What did that feel like when he told on you?
I mean, I was pissed, but like I had to stand in front of the team and admit that I had a problem with drugs and alcohol because of the coach told me to, and I had to step down as the captain. I was the captain of the football team.
Was that humiliating?
I mean, yeah, it was humiliating, and I didn't know how to take accountability for my actions at this point in
So
my
you
life.
didn't believe it, but you were being
Of course
forced
not.
to
I
say
played
it.
victim. I blamed the snitch. I blamed my family. I blamed the coach. I blamed the team. Anybody but myself.
Was there any thoughts in, like, with this experience, you're forced to stand in front of the football team, say you're an alcoholic, step down. Was, like, a lot of your ego just kind of, like, stripped? Was there shame and embarrassment associated with this? Or was it like, oh, well, fuck them. I can just kind of continue to do what I want to do, and I just don't need to be around these people. Like, what was your thinking?
I think it just continued to fuel the narrative of like, I'm not wanted anywhere and I'm going to screw things up.
Same thing.
And there's something wrong with me because I can't do anything right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So like the same experiences you'd had since you were just a young child with your mom, right? These are continuing to be like a pattern in your life, and you see them as being the same.
Yeah. And I also suffered from like grandiosity. So it's like, I was like, oh, I'm the best player on the team. Like they're going to bench me. Like they should just like let it slide. Like I would get into those, you know, narratives too.
Yeah. Like they won't survive without me. They're
yeah. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
So, so what happens next?
I mean, what happens next is I stopped going to school. I barely would show up to school. I was getting really bad grades. I was hanging out with a lot of older kids. I was partying every day. I wasn't coming home.
What does your dad say about all of this?
God bless my dad. My dad was the type of dad that would drive at 2 a.m. in his truck, screaming my name, looking for me, kicking doors down, like trying to.
Wow.
Yeah, like trying to find me.
What a devastating kind of picture to think about, like a parent searching for their kid, like not knowing where they are.
Yeah, again, God bless my dad. My dad has kicked trap house doors down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he find you?
Yeah, there's a few times.
What happened when he found you?
I mean, my dad's a 6'4", 250-pound bear, and he's very stern. So I mean, he would just grab me. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
It's hard to say no to him. You know.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So
but to answer your question, so after that, things progressively get worse. I'm a kid that got kidnapped, right? I had
Goon.
Yeah, they call it goon, which has a new term in today's world. So
what is it called now? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Well,
so yeah, they did call it gooning. So what it was is like 2 large men came into my room, and the way my parents they were like, hey, I had a stepmom at the time. I still do, but so they asked me like, hey, can you come home and like have dinner with us? We're gonna have like a nice family dinner.
Were your spidey senses?
Well, I was shrooming.
You were on mushrooms.
I was on mushrooms for like a week at this point.
That's crazy.
I know. I had bought all these mushrooms and I was just eating them like Skittles.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, cool, yeah. So I came home and I'm just like shrooming in the bedroom, and these 2 huge like corn-fed white dudes came in the room, and I was tripping so much. They were selling the house at that point. I thought that they were just showing the house. Yeah. That was like my first thought. I'm like, oh, they're just like showing the house. Like, what's up, guys? And I remember my stepmom was like, I don't remember their names. It was like Wyatt and Austin or something. Like, this is Wyatt and this is Austin, and they're going to take you to a better place. And I was like, no, they're not. And I remember like trying to fight them, but I mean, I was like a little kid. So
how old were you?
16. I mean,
16.
I was a teenager, yeah.
And these 2 big dudes, you're on mushrooms, they come to pick you up at your house, and they're like, you're coming with us.
Yeah, and they like...
So this is like some Paris Hilton type.
Yeah, so they like zip-tied me.
They zip-tied you?
Yeah, they like zip-tied me to the I was like fighting them.
Right.
So I was like zip-tied to the oh shit handle or whatever.
The oh shit handle.
Yeah. And they took me to Utah. And like I try to talk about this a little because there's so much stuff about in the media about these places, and like, no, I don't condone that happening, but like the reality is like I was doing a lot of things that I shouldn't have been doing. I was getting involved in a lot of things I shouldn't have been involved in, and like my parents wanted to help me, and they were sold a service they thought would help me, so they hired these people to try to help me. And I believe that if I wasn't taking those actions, I wouldn't have attracted that. So I believe that, like, you know, again, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it to somebody, but like they were doing what the best thing that they could at that time.
Yeah, it's this tough love ideology. Like, oh, they're going to send my kid to boot camp and whip him into shape, right? That was like the belief behind it, right?
Yeah.
And like your stepmom and your dad weren't equipped with the tools to handle what was happening with you, right? They had no experiences, and there's alcoholism in your family. Like, had anybody recovered or gotten sober?
No. No. I mean, my family largely suffers from like binge drinking. So it's like this.
Oh, they're not real alcoholics because they can get up in the morning and get it together.
Yeah.
That kind of deal.
Yeah.
Got it. And so you have these two dudes from, you don't even know where they're from, show up, zip tie you, and bring you to a treatment center in Utah. Does this, again, reaffirm this belief that you're not wanted?
Oh, of course. And like, listen, I went to a couple of these places.
Were any of them helpful? Were they good programs? Like, what was your experience there?
They might have been good if I was like ready to listen.
Were they traumatic though? Was it, because you hear horror stories about some of these wilderness programs?
I mean, listen, one of the programs I was in, I don't want to get too into the weeds, but like one of them, they would try to fight me.
Wow.
They were loaded on the job. Big Samoan dudes like taking people in a back room and like slapping them around. Yeah, that kind of stuff was happening.
Wow.
And you got to remember, I'm there with a bunch of kids like me, so there's fights 24/7.
Well, so they're creating an environment that's not nurturing and healthy and feels safe. And I'd imagine that you, as well as most of those kids, have some stuff that they've dealt with throughout their life that's causing them to kind of act out in the way that they're acting out.
For sure.
And then they're in a new environment where, again, they don't feel safe, and it probably wasn't a helpful tool to most of these kids. It was probably traumatizing. Do you talk to any of those kids?
Actually, I have a couple on Instagram that I've not really stayed in touch with, but like sometimes I'll like, see what they're up to. And
do you know how any of them are doing?
I think some of them died. Some of them continued their path of destruction, whatever you want to call it. A couple of them seem like they're doing okay. I don't know too much. I see a couple of them on Instagram, but so like there wasn't any like solution there.
It was like behavior modification.
I mean, just think about it. It's like 60 kids in a lockdown.
Yeah.
Just like me.
Right.
That just want to get in trouble and start fights and prove something. So what did I learn there? I learned about the things I was missing out on. And the things that I was missing out on was like Oxycontin and home invasions. Like this is the type of stuff that I was learning there. And so I spent, through my 18th birthday, I spent a total of like 18 months in these places. And I ended up going to like wilderness. That's me backtrack. I ended up at this ranch that I ran from. I put together like a team, like a guy could steal a car, another guy, like it was like 4 of us.
Yeah.
Like we ended up like committing some felonies, and they called me the ringleader, and they
how
wanted
old were you?
17.
Yeah.
They
so
wanted
you're
to
still a
charge
kid.
me as an adult.
Yeah.
And they wanted to put me in adult prison in Utah.
Were you the ringleader?
I mean, I guess.
You were the. I mean,
Yeah,
you said
yeah.
you put the team together.
Yeah.
So they called you the ringleader.
Yeah, they called me the
because you were
ringleader.
Because you were the ringleader.
Yeah, so I was like in a juvenile spot out there, and they ended up, this was like after I went to wilderness. So I ran from the place, I got arrested, they put me in wilderness, I went back to court, and I thought I was going home. And they're like, no, we're going to charge you as an adult. So I sat in this like juvie for a while. And then they sentenced me to like, Utah has so many different like, I don't even know how to describe it. They have like levels of care for youth. So I got sentenced to what's called like a level 15 like lockdown, where there's literally alarms on the doors. You can't leave.
Yeah.
It was like this huge old LDS building for like, I don't even know what you would call it, but it was like 12 stories.
What is it called? It's called like something Kingdom. I forget what their like church is called.
Yeah, it wasn't anything to do with LDS. It was just like an old LDS building.
Yeah.
But there was like 12 stories and like all these rooms, and there was like 100 kids in there.
Right.
Lots of staff, and it was gnarly.
Yeah.
And like we were all trying to get loaded in there.
Right.
I was drinking NyQuil,
It sounds pretty
huffing,
miserable.
drinking hand sanitizer. I mean, you name it. We were doing whatever we could. There was kids from New York and like gangbanger. Like it was a whole thing when I got to this place, and I was there for like a year. past my 18th birthday.
Can
because
they do that?
Well, I
you were
was
charged as an adult.
I was like sentenced. So again, it continued to feel that narrative of unwanted, and I belong in places like this because this is like starting my like treatment recovery, in and out journey.
And you're essentially like at this point institutionalized, right?
Yeah.
It's like a part of how you operate. It's what you understand. Okay, like this is how we have to live. And I mean, I had very similar experiences too as a kid where I was locked up, and it just became what it is. People are like, oh, that must have been really hard. It was, but then once you kind of get into a place, especially as a kid, kids are pretty adaptable.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Once you like get into this place where like this is what we're doing, this is where we're at, acceptance, it like just becomes a part of life, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I came home and I bounced like within a week.
And you're 18 now, so dad, stepmom, grandma, nobody has any say of kind of what you do and where you go.
Correct.
Do you think that was for the worse or the better?
Which part?
Just now you're on your own and you can do what you want. Do you think like that the structure and the accountability that they were offering you was helpful or harmful before turning 18?
I mean, I feel like if I say harmful, I'm playing victim. So it's like, I'm here now for the grace of God. There go I. So everything that happened helped me get to the point that I'm at now, and I'm happy with where I'm at. So it's like, and there's also all those like things that I was taught that one day clicked, right?
Yeah.
That like experiential wisdom, like I did something or had an experience and I'm like, oh yeah, that stuff that I was taught when I was younger, it makes sense now.
Mm-hmm.
I see it from a different perspective.
Right.
And I think that like the every day that I grow, like in sobriety, my childhood looks different.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't look the same that it used to.
Your perspective on what your childhood was has shifted drastically.
Correct. Like if you asked me that question when I was 18, my answer would be much different.
Right.
Right.
Fuck my parents.
And I'm sure if you asked me again in 10
deal.
years, it would be even more different than now. So it's like, I want to lean towards like helpful because I think that all the stuff that they did helped me grow into the man I am today.
And also you have this insight now, right? Which is that they were terrified and they were trying to help you. They just didn't know how.
Exactly. They did the best with what they had and were equipped with.
I know. And I think sometimes people hear that, right? Oh, they were doing the best they could. And they kind of like scoff at it, right? But truly, I think most human beings are doing the best they can. And sometimes the best that we can is not enough. But nonetheless, it's the best that
it's both. It's like I am doing my best and I can do better.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like a absolute
100%.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. So you're 18, you're off on your own, you're doing whatever the hell you want. Where do you go?
I had a friend, he had an apartment, I moved in.
Friend that had a friend, had an apartment.
Yeah,
had a
just
yeah.
I went off the rails.
What does off the rails look like?
I mean, what do they call, what's the medical term? Polysubstance abuser. Like I just literally was doing, like my drug of choice was more.
Yeah.
What do you have? Like I was doing all of it. I was committing crimes. I definitely started like my arrest journey.
Well, all that exploration you did as a juvenile in these facilities, all of this exploration's finally paying off, right? Now you can put your skills into action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I started doing drugs, hard drugs. That progressed pretty quickly. I mean, I was doing like daily heroin at 19. I remember the first time I smoked heroin, it was on an ASU campus. I had a friend going to ASU, big party school. This guy was in ASU. He was just addicted to heroin. And I remember smoking heroin with him, and I like went to a party, and I remember just vomiting profusely at the party, and I loved it. And my friends were like, "What are you?" And I like told my friends that were like kind of not like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, I smoked heroin," and they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I smoked heroin," and like I kept puking, and they're like, "Are you sick?" I'm like, "No, I feel great." Like.
Yeah.
And yeah, I
Why
felt.
is that? Why is it that opiate addicts, they do something like opiates, They puke their brains out. They're scratching their body off, and they want to do it again. Like, what is that? What
I don't
do you think
know.
is behind that? That's a crazy way to react to a substance that makes you like violently ill.
I don't know.
To want to do more of it.
I loved it.
What did it do for you?
Everything. It literally did everything. It just like wiped away all my problems, all the fears, the anxieties. Yeah, just like everything. It just was like a warm blanket, you know?
Similar to your experience when you first started drinking?
Way better. So that happened, and I mean, I remember going into psychosis like pretty quickly from doing speedballs.
And what does that look like? What is psychosis? What does that experience feel like?
Oh, listen, I'm pretty like ADHD, like hyper focused by nature. Like I lock in. I mean, you know this about me.
Yeah.
So when I would do these types of drugs, I would become the most paranoid person you've ever met. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm talking like kitchen knife,
I
sweating.
mean, you're a little paranoid.
No,
without
like in the
drugs.
people, like nobody can be around. I got in a fist fight with a dude one time because he told me to get out of the people, and I was like, "This is what I want to do. I'm trying to hang out right here in the people and like leave me alone. Like this is what I have fun doing this. Like leave me alone. Like literally just getting aggro with this dude, like fighting him. Like that's me. That's where it goes for me.
Tripping everybody out, killing the
No,
vibe, dude.
listen, tripping. Everybody leaves. Like I'm like, yo, I just want to be alone. Let me trip alone.
Right.
Like this is what I want to do.
Right.
It's not cool for me.
Never
was. There was never a time where it was cool. Like I entered that space quickly. My story is like has a lot of meth in it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I would shoot up meth. I would like shoot up in my neck, like get crazy with it, and I would immediately go to the peephole or the blinds and just get stuck. And I would do that for days. Like I think I have neck and back problems because of the positions that I would put myself in, like looking out of windows, convinced that the SWAT team was like about to kick my door down. Like and I'm talking days, like up for days. Like I would put a cigarette in my mouth, not light it, and then like 24 hours later, I would look down and the cigarette would be like yellow and like mangled because I would be like chewing on it.
Mm-hmm.
Never smoked the cigarette. Just looking out windows or like taking a pause to like do a shot and like come back and look out the windows. And I remember like, and I would always like be in my underwear, just like sweating profusely. Like, I've called the cops before.
On
this
yourself?
is crazy.
Oh, I've done that too.
I called the cop. No, because I thought that this truck was like coming. Like I was videoing this.
Yeah.
I was videoing nothing, but I
Right.
thought that this truck was like
Rolling up on you.
surveying my property.
Right.
And I called the cops to tell them that. And the cop pulled up, and like I'm in the middle of looking out the window when the cop came
Probably
to the
didn't help
house.
the psychosis, I'd imagine.
And I come out, and it's nighttime, and he's got like a light on me, and I'm in my underwear.
I was going to say, are
sweating.
you wearing clothes?
Pupils are huge. Tongue is white.
Why is that? Wait, hold on. Why is it, specifically with men, some women, but men, they do uppers, meth or cocaine, and they get naked? Is it because you're hot and then there's a lot of sweating and heavy breathing involved?
Meth, it heats up your. I used to get on these Reddit forums too.
Yeah.
And I'd be on like page 730.
It wasn't Reddit, though. What was it called? What was that like drug form that you could find? It doesn't
I know what you're
exist
talking about,
anymore.
but I never really.
That's how I learned how to shoot up in my neck on my
E-Bombs World?
No, that was like
that was like reviews or something.
No, E-Bombs World was the one that had like all those funny like skits. They were like cartoon skits. But
I don't know.
No, there was some form. There was a specific form back in the day where you would like I mean, I didn't know how to shoot up in my neck, and I remember all of my veins were so shot out, like I needed to figure it out. And by this time, I'm like so isolated in, you know, my drug addiction that like I don't have any friends around to help me out. And I remember reading those forms for hours and figuring it out and learning how to do it when I was like 18.
I've learned a lot on those forums, but I remember I read that you get paranoid because your organs heat up, and naturally when you get like frightened, your organs naturally heat up.
Really?
So like doing uppers heats them up, and it like
that's
triggers.
true.
I don't know, but it sounded good.
Yeah.
Like page 730 of the forum, I'm like reading about this, right? Anyway, so like I tell the cop that this guy's like surveying my house, and he just looks at me. I don't know why that guy didn't arrest me, but he was like, "Hey, bro, like you should probably just go back in your house. Like you're white, your tongue is like white, it's chalky. You don't look good. Like you probably need to go get some sleep." Like he was nice.
Yeah.
And I had been up for like, I don't know, I would go on these like 9-10 day.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Because that's when the psychosis
No,
really
hallucinations.
hits.
Yeah. All sorts of
crazy.
I don't have that phone anymore, but I had so many videos of nothing.
Oh my God.
Where I would like video something that wasn't there because I was convinced that something was there.
What was the worst experience that you had in psychosis? Story time with Dustin.
Again, I was on I was coming down, and I was at this stage of my addiction. Like, I would try to get Xanax, right, to come off of it. Like,
Come down.
I would pay $1,000 for Xanax. Like, I'd be like, yo, I'll give you $200 to give me one Xanax. Like, I need it right now. Like, I can't come down, and I couldn't find anything. And I remember going on Reddit, like, how do I come down? I was like reading about it, and somebody said to chug a gallon of milk. They were like, chug a gallon of milk, like you'll be straight.
You.
And I drank a whole gallon of milk, and I just started profusely vomiting, like in this psychosis. I was up for days.
Did it work? Did it help you come
No,
down?
I got trolled. And I remember I went down, and someone else like, I wonder how many people he got to drink a gallon of milk.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That was pretty funny.
So things are getting pretty intense for you. You're in psychosis. You're shooting drugs. Are you completely isolated from your family? Are you?
Yeah. And I'll tell another one really quick. Like, there was a point where I was like on the run from the cops. So yeah, I'm on the run from the cops. My dad was like begging me to come home so that I would go to court, right? And this was like during a crack era, and I was the type of crackhead that would, I mean, it would only last like a week when I would do crack because it was just so much, like I couldn't,
gnarly.
It wouldn't last.
The same with me.
I would go buy like an ounce of crack, and I would literally come home and take half of it and throw it around the house because I knew that I was going to go search for it, and I wanted to make sure that I found some. The problem with that is that I never knew if I found it all. So I just always thought that there was some left.
There was more.
So anyways, I'm in this crack era. My dad convinces me to come home. I'm smoking crack. I come home, and he's like, all right, we're going to go at 7:30, like meet me in the living room. I'm smoking crack all night, like under the bed, like weird shit. And
probably no clothes on again.
No, yeah, butt naked. It's like 6 a.m. and I'm like, all right, I need to like get ready.
Right.
And I have no clothes. Like I don't have a suit. I don't have anything to wear to court. And I hear my dad in the shower, and I go in his closet and I grab a suit. Again, my dad's 6'4", 250. I'm like 130, crackhead skinny. And I put this suit on, and I slicked my hair back. And I came out in the living room, and I was like, Dad, how do I look? And he's like, you look like a crackhead in a suit. And I got arrested that day.
Yeah,
He took me to jail. Yeah.
Did you show up in that suit?
Yes. It was it would get to a point where my dad would just be like, dude, he would just like,
all right, let's run it.
Yeah, shake his head in disgust.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do? How do you dress a crackhead up to look less like a crackhead? Like when you're in it, your like face is smoked out. You're like all like bones and skin. It's just like there's nothing that can be done.
No, I would go to court. I've been in and out of courtrooms for the last 15 years or whatever. But I would pick my face. And then an hour before court, I would like start putting on makeup, and I'd go to the courthouse. I'd look like I came out of the morgue, like peanut butter was all over my face, like, because it was so picked, and I looked terrible. I always thought I would like, I look good. I got all this makeup on, like I look terrible.
Yeah. Okay, so years and years, you're going in and out of jails, institutions. You're drinking, you're smoking, you're shooting, you're doing all kinds of crazy shit, psychosis, crackheads in suits, and so. When does like your attempts at sobriety start?
I mean, attempts, trying to define that. Like I don't know. I went to a pretty good treatment center in my early 20s, and I ended up going to that treatment center like 10 times, and there was a guy there named Harry Schneider that has actually since passed, and he was like pretty he's pretty important to me, and like he had a big impact on me. But like I would do that thing where I would go to treatment, I would get out, I would put all the things in front of, you know, my recovery, and ultimately I would drink again and kind of wonder why, and it built up all this like, you know, hope in my family or my loved ones, and kind of just tear it all down. And I mean, I did that vicious cycle. I mean, I went to treatment 40 times, right? Literally 40. And it was just like, you know, two or three times a year I would end up in a treatment center, and just kind of do the same thing over and over. I could never really put together more than 60 or 90 days. And
were all of your experiences in treatment positive, or were there any that were just really not good places?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can find the good in anything. And I never really was looking for the good. I was always looking for the bad to build my case.
Yeah, but some places are bad.
Sure. And yes, I have been in some not great places. I've been in some great places, and I've been kicked out of great places. And I really would go to these places and just wasn't ready to like put my guns down, as I like to say. It's like I always had my guns drawn, and would find the fault in you so that I could, you know, justify my exit or whatever it was, or justify the thought that I was, you know, ultimately going to drink again or use again.
Right. Do you think treatment is a necessary part of getting sober?
Necessary? No, I don't think it's necessary. I think there are maybe things that treatment centers provide that are necessary to some, not all, but no, I don't think it's necessary.
And what do you think about, I mean, we're starting a treatment center together, right? What was your goal in wanting to start this program?
Well, it's to draw from my experience, mainly of somebody that, again, went through 40 treatment centers and seen the good, seen the bad, and wanting to kind of create a space where we can offer like a bridge to recovery, and do it the right way, and have a good name, and be able to treat and help a lot of people, and provide good treatment. And I hate that good treatment is a term, because everybody should be awarded good treatment, but that's not the case, right? And my goal is to have as much good treatment as we can provide to as many people as possible.
You think the statistics for outcomes, successful outcomes in treatment are pretty low, right? Why do you think that is?
Well, there's so many questions that come with just that statistic right there. It's like, what did they do after, right? Are they on medication? What's their family support look like? Because remember, like, if I only speak Chinese and I go to school for a month to learn French, and I come home and my family's speaking Chinese, I'm going to forget the French, right? So there's so much that goes into the aftercare or after treatment support. And then just, you know, so I would say that, like, the question requires more questions, right? Surrounding, like, what is all going into that statistic. Right. Because I would imagine if you got granular with it and looked at all the statistics of, like, the aftercare, the family support, you know, where they live, did they go back to the state that they were from? Did they stay local, right? Because it's like, if you unplug a fridge, right, what happens? The food goes bad. And it's like, for me, I've went to treatment out of state, or I've tried to get sober, and then I've, like, moved, and, like, it never has worked for me, because, like, I thought that I could recreate a support system that I had, and it's like it's not easy. It's actually very difficult. So it's really important to foster that support network and stay close to that support network.
Community, yeah.
Yeah.
So where is your mom through all of this?
I mean, virtually non-existent. I mean, I would talk to my mom maybe once a year. There were lofty conversations. I actually, speeding up a little bit into my story, I got to kind of reconnect with her pre-COVID. I actually flew out to Texas to kick heroin. My mom lived in a trailer in Bryan, Texas, and I flew out there.
Great place to kick heroin.
Oh, yeah. So I flew out there specifically to kick on her couch. And and I got to hang out with her for like 2 weeks. And I don't know, I was like drinking whiskey, trying to come off it. I had like a couple Suboxone, and I wasn't sleeping. And
trying to do it on
we
your
were
own.
watching like The Price is Right. And, you know, I got to see a couple things, right? I got to see my mom for my mom. I got to see what an alcoholic life leads you to. My mom had nothing, nobody. She lived a sad existence, sad to say. But
lonely.
I did, very lonely, but I did get to connect with her. And it's weird because like my mom is my blood. And even though I didn't spend time with her my whole life, it's almost like she knew everything about me.
Yeah.
And I knew everything about her. So
well,
we had a
it
cool
sounds like
connection.
You two were the same.
Very much so.
Right?
Yeah.
All of these experiences, the alcoholism, the addiction, the harms caused, the damage that's been done all throughout your life. Your mom, you were one of the victims of her damage, right? And now so there's a lot of correlations in how similar you were. And I'd imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, all this resentment towards her. Was there any recognition where it kind of came full circle? Like, oh, she is me.
Yeah, 100%. Kind of like after the fact, but I did enjoy that time I got with her. And, right after that is kind of when I got locked up. But, and my mom was like one of the only people that was, putting money in my books and talking to me in there and writing me letters. And she wasn't the only one, but
one of the few.
One of the very few. And I talked to her a lot, and I felt like I could call her and talk about anything.
And be honest.
She was a huge support for me during that time that I was in there. And she, I don't know if we want to get into all that yet, but we can. So
let's do it.
Yeah. So I ultimately got arrested in 2020 and ended up in Maine jail in Orange County, and then getting moved over to Theo Lacey, which is just like a bigger jail. And I spent some time there, and then I ended up in Riverside County and spent some time there. And then I ended up in Banning, which is like a big, huge, like it used to be like a POW camp. It's at like the base of Idlewild. And
cold up there.
Yeah, cold. I spent a good amount of time there, and I was fighting this case and supposed to go upstate for quite a while. And COVID was weird. Like they were assigning prison numbers and then reversing sentences, and giving people deals.
Yep.
And I didn't qualify to get like a kick. So I spent my time in there, and I was fully expecting to go upstate for a long time, and I was kind of getting involved in everything that goes on in there, and realizing that I needed to survive. And
when you say involved in everything that goes on in there, are you talking about like the prison mentality?
Yeah,
like
politics.
Yeah,
because I
gang shit.
I wasn't willing to like PC up.
Right.
And
explain what PC up is for those that don't know.
Yeah, it's just like protective custody. It's
you have a choice. You either subscribe to kind of like the culture that you're in, or you go into protective custody, which is not ideal when you're in that place.
You don't really want to be in there. It's like a bunch of chomos and pedos and people with weird crimes and stuff that I don't really want to associate with. So,
and people just assume that if you're in there that's what you
right. So I got involved in some of that stuff. I learned how to make pruno. I got really good at it. You can make pruno with anything. You can do it with ketchup.
Yep.
Right. Anything that has sugar in it. So I got good at that, and was drinking regularly, and people bring stuff in there. It's crazy how much stuff comes in. Drugs. When you're locked up. Yeah. So I got really good at playing pinochle, and I hustled ways to get heroin, and I was doing heroin in there. And the last time I got loaded, I was literally snorting heroin with my cellmate in my underwear, and as you should. And I like that warm feeling came over me, and I just like looked. This dude had like 666 tatted across his face, and he had like a clown stripe, and his nickname was like Poker. I don't know. This dude was crazy. He was from Hemet. Do you know anything about Hemet?
I mean, I've been there. I know where it is.
It's not chill.
Yeah.
It's like Hills Have Eyes type. And this dude was out of his mind. And I remember just like that feeling came. I just looked at this dude, and I was just like, dude, I am nothing but a homeless 140-pound drug addict. And I'm going to die in prison with a drug habit. And it was that. It was that like, there was like that surrender right there where I just gave up. And I felt like I deserved prison for the rest of my life. I felt like I deserved to have no family. Like I was really in that headspace.
Right.
And like I really didn't stop because I cared about myself. I really just was like, I don't want to have a habit in prison. So let me stop. And so I stopped.
It's not always sustainable in prison because sometimes.
And I don't even want to take credit for it.
Right.
Like, God stopped me. Because I stopped making Pruno. I stopped doing heroin. I just stopped. And Christmas 2020, I almost got in a fight with a guard. He was like checking me on something. And I remember...
like on Christmas Day?
On Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day, and your thought is, oh, this guy's disrespected me, and so I need to stand up for myself and fight.
And mind you,
correctional officer.
And mind you, my sobriety date is Halloween. So Halloween 2020 was my first day, no using, no drinking, and then Christmas Day this happens, and
2 months sober.
2 months sober, and I almost get into it with this guard, and people were egging me on, like, we got your back, and
right.
I don't know, I sat down. Something came over me. I sat down. I didn't care what people thought, and they hit the pad right after that. And what that means is, like, they come in the unit and they take everybody's stuff, and they took all our extra pillows and mattresses, and they throw your pictures on the ground, and they stomp on them, and they really don't care about your stuff. They take all your food. Like, right. It's not chill. And I remember I'm outside at the gate. I'm in my underwear because when they hit.
In the underwear again.
And I'm standing next to this dude who actually he overdosed when he got out. He was like my cellie. His name was Austin. I love that dude. And I'm standing next to him, and I looked at him, and I was like, dude, I don't belong in here. I'm going to change my life, like that kind of thing. And at that point, I was fighting like a 9-year prison sentence.
Had you ever thought that before? I don't belong here. I'm going to change my life. Like, genuinely had that?
Yeah, for sure. But they were like lofty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was different about this time?
Let me get into that. Because I think that question's been asked a lot, and I think I know the answer. I used to not feel like I did, and it's because it's like $1 million question. So I get on my knees and I pray that night, and I didn't care who saw, and I basically didn't say, like, get me out of this. It was like, take the wheel. Literally, like, anybody could have run my life better than me. So, like, I was just like, run my life.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah, essentially. And a week later, I got offered a deal, and the deal was a 9-year joint suspension. And a joint suspension means that if I breathe wrong, I'm doing every day of that 9 years. And I had to take a strike, and all that. In California, if you get 3, you're doing life. And like, I had to think about the deal because, like, I had to go to this long-term program, and if I left the program, I was violating, and I had to think about it because I messed up every time in my life. So
are you setting Are you setting yourself up for failure?
Exactly. And everybody in there is like, no, don't take it. Everybody comes back. Like, you're going to screw it up. And like,
and they're right.
Take the time.
A lot of the time.
And I was like, I'm toying with, like, do I want to just go do like 5 and come home and do whatever I want? Or do I want to, like, take this risk? And ultimately I knew I wanted to change, and I was willing to not jaywalk. And like, I knew that if I just played by the rules and buttoned up and did what everybody else told me to do, I'd probably be all right. So, I took the deal. My mom made like 1,000 phone calls and found a program on the west side called The Last House. And I went there, and I don't know, I was just like willing to do whatever they told me to do. I was like getting on my hands and knees doing my chore. Like, I was willing to paint the house. Like, I didn't care, like, whatever I just didn't want to go back to what I was doing. And I did whatever they told me to do. And I don't know, my life has just continuously got better. And I think the answer to your question is, like, I stopped saying yes to me and started saying yes to others. Started to deny myself. And when I started saying yes to others and not questioning it, like, if somebody would just tell me something to do that, like, I respected or like had recovery, I would just do it. Like, it didn't matter, like, what my feelings were about it, or my, like, philosophy behind what they were telling me to do, or my objection, or like my something being more important than what they were telling me to do, like my time or like my personal affairs. Like, I would just do it. I would, like, make it happen. And like, that's really been the difference. And I continue to carry that.
Yeah. That's pretty powerful, that shift that happened after years and years and years of, like, doing things your way, going in and out of treatment centers, in and out of jails, institutions, juvenile programs, et cetera, and then just something shifts. You make this decision. And I like to think about it, at least for me, because you and I have a lot of similarities in kind of our experience in getting sober. Also, I got sober, incarcerated, and I had a very similar experience during COVID also, where, like, everything was shut down, and I just started praying. And shortly thereafter, I ended up getting out earlier than expected. And I think that there was a lot of different times that I have made a decision, right, where I want to do something different and I need to change my life, but there was no follow-up. there was no action taken afterwards. And similar to what you just said, like the action that we end up taking is no action at all, in the sense, like, I'm just not going to do what I think I'm supposed to do, and I'm going to take some suggestions from some other people that might know a little bit more. And like that was the biggest shift for me too in the very beginning of my recovery journey, when I was fresh out of prison and in a sober living. It was like, okay, I'm done. I want to live differently. This is my surrender. And then the follow-up after that made it like sustainable and long-term was I was willing to take actions and suggestions from other people, even if it didn't make sense. I was willing to push aside all of these ideas and these beliefs that I thought I needed to do. I need to get a job. I need to get a license. I need to get a boyfriend. I need to get more money. I like all these things that always prevented me from getting sober. And it sounds like it was very much the same for you.
Yeah, it was.
So, so you end up going to this treatment place, right?
Yeah.
It's long-term.
Long-term.
You have a 9-year suspended sentence.
Uh-huh.
And how long are you in there for?
A year.
A year. And so you get out after a year. And what happens after your 1-year-long treatment stint ends?
Well, I didn't leave. I moved into the live-in manager job.
Mm-hmm.
And
I did the same thing.
And like a week into that, I get a call that my mom had overdosed and passed on.
Wow.
And I definitely did not know how to deal with it when I got that call. Like, I was in the middle of running a group for the house, and I got the call, and I literally just went back to group and continued running it.
Were you in shock?
Yeah, well, I was in shock about the situation. I wasn't shocked about what had happened.
Right. You weren't shocked that she passed, but you were in shock about hearing the news, because regardless of what kind of relationship you two had, she was your mom.
Yeah, and I really think that, like, I got this time with her before I got locked up. We developed this relationship that we hadn't had. She was a part of my journey throughout that house. She would like send me she had nothing, and she would like send me packages like every 2 weeks of just like, literally trash.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it was what she had to offer me.
Right.
Boxes.
Right.
Like stuff she gets at like either swap meets or digging trash. I don't know where she was getting it, but
mm-hmm.
it was literally trash. But like, it was her offering to me.
Yeah.
And she's the one that found that place. She made like 1,000 phone calls, and
mm-hmm.
She ended up talking to Roy Dupree, and ultimately, I got there. So yeah, like, I don't know. When that happened, it was like, I want to run, right? And I don't know how to deal with this. And but I do think that her final gift to me before death was life, because
she's the reason you got sober.
Well, yeah, she's a large reason why I got sober,
mm-hmm.
and just being in my life that last year that I didn't get her my whole life, and then finding that place, and then supporting me through it, and then passing on. It was like her last ode to me, like a last gift to me, Yeah, it was
nothing was left hanging. It was like you were able to have a little bit of closure in this relationship with your mom that had been so painful all those years. Like, she was able to show up for you in the best way she could that last year, in the perfect time, right? The perfect moment. Had it been any other moment that she had tried to do that, do you even think that you would have gotten sober? If it wasn't, it's just, God is kind of crazy that way. The universe, like, people come into our life and leave our life, and experiences happen at the perfect time when we're ready to have a shift, right?
Yeah. It's like a pain to power thing too. I mean, I don't, I had my best friend growing up was also shot in my first year, and he passed.
A lot of loss.
A lot of loss in my first year. People
Wow.
were very close to me, and big parts of my journey and just my life. And of course I want to run, and that's what I do. And I justify my thoughts, feelings, and actions with stuff like this. And I knew that both of them wanted me to stay sober and help people. So it's like that was like a cornerstone, and it catapulted me into like my next journey, which was to like dedicate my life to helping others, and putting others in front of myself, and that other-centeredness mentality. And I truly think that without these events happening, as sad as they are, I don't know what my journey would have looked like. I think it was like, okay, let me harness this pain and turn it into something good. Right.
Yeah, using all of your experiences, all your pain to be helpful not only to yourself but to other people. That's empowering.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about this relationship with your mom now and the passing of your mom? After that first year, you decide to stay, you don't run. What happens over the last few years?
I mean, my relationship to my mom is better now than it was when she was alive. I mean, I didn't get to go out there to Texas because of the stipulations of my parole, which sucked.
Right.
I didn't get to go out there for the funeral due to the stipulations of my parole, which sucked. But like, I did get to go out a couple years later, and I like got an orange tree, and my mom sends me oranges. It's a good thing. I got an orange tree and I buried her ashes with that orange tree, and I like wrote a letter, and there was like a lot of closure with it, and I got to say all the things I never got to say. And I did that with my brother, my older brother, who has spent a large amount of his life in prison, and we've been able to kind of reconnect since I've gotten sober, and he got out like 2 years ago and was in for a long time in Texas, and we got to do that together, and it was a healing moment for the both of us to kind of just like say goodbye. And so, I think about her often, and she's with me, and she's like kind of what spawned my idea to want to start a program too, and to help people. And
well, our original name for the program was Orange Tree, right?
Yeah, Orange Tree. Yeah.
And that was an ode to your mom.
Yeah. There's always little God shots too. Like when we found that property, there was all those orange trees in the
front yard.
In the front yard, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's funny is another orange tree thing. The last house has a big orange tree behind the house. So it's always, she's always there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to end with that.
Cool.
This was so much fun. I'm so glad you got to come.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, we get to hang out. We talk every single day, all the time. So it was cool to kind of get into the nitty gritty of it. I don't know if we've ever had like the full conversation about your story and your life, and it's really powerful. And I think it's going to help a lot of people.
Cool. Hopefully it just helps one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for joining us for the show today with Dustin Kerr, co-founder and director of operations at Peak Path Health, my good friend. And if you are struggling with addiction, alcoholism, loss, grief, please send us a message, email us, go to our website at www.peakpathhealth.com, like, comment, and subscribe. And we want to hear from you. Thank you.